video. It's going to be an exciting video. I'm going to weave it all together for you. I'm going to sum it all up. I'm going to show you how the clockwork universe is aligning itself. And I'm going to be as clear and explicit as possible, because if there's any confusion left in the people who are still watching these videos, I hope to clear it up in this video. All right, let's talk about everything. So Fibonacci, that's mainly the central theme of all things. So what's this structure, right? Now, we've been looking at Fibonacci on this smaller time frame, right? And we can recall that we've been talking about the 702 retracement based on this top to this bottom, putting us about 57,000. That's what we're anticipating is the next phase of the market here, right? So where have we seen that fractal before? We've obviously seen it right here, that big crash to the 702 retracement. And what do we recall happening? The altcoins had their final moment before this massive crash, right? Before like the end of that cycle within this larger cycle. Now, what's worth talking about as well are percentages. So how big was this crash? 28.5%. How big is this crash? 52%. Good Lord. All right. Where have we seen a crash that big before? Now I'm about to go back into reviewing times and everything like that, but that's okay, because it's good to say these things more than once, more than 10 times even. All right. We saw this fractal, this 702 fractal here. Now we've looked at the altcoins that have moved, literally thousands of percent during this time. This is all review here into this 702 retracement. But what's worth considering on this fractal is how this is clear. We know now, looking back, hindsight is 2020. This is the top of the market. So how did we know that? Or how can we say that we might be at the top of the market now? Well, I'd say because look at that crash, right? Our crash was bigger. Our crash was bigger than that. And look what happened, right? That signals sort of that, we're going down, right? But what happens off that crash before you're going down? Like, look at all this bad stuff. This is good stuff if you know what to do with it, but you know what I'm saying. This retracement, we've talked about all the altcoins, those dates, January 6th, what altcoins were doing at this time before this market crashed epically. And we're saying that we're setting up to be right here at that moment off that massive crash. In our case, a 52% crash in 2017, a 48% crash approximately, retracing up to that 702 for Bitcoin. And let's just acknowledge how that's been reinforced already in this bull market off of a 29.5% crash, retracing to a 702. We've already looked at the altcoins that were going literally parabolic into this moment before the entire market sold off. And I've already said, if the altcoin season is proportionate to this crash, then I think we can expect this altcoin season to be potentially maybe the biggest one in the Bitcoin history of altcoin seasons. And there's another corroborating factor worth considering here. This is the total altcoin market cap in relation to its Fibonacci prophecy. So look at the total altcoin market cap, total 3, that's the ticker. And this is every coin on the market except Bitcoin and Ethereum, right? Yep, they have an index for it. So you're looking at a market that's basically taking the liquidity of Bitcoin and Ethereum, right? That's what's going on. So look at this. January 6th is 2018 is when the altcoin, excluding Ethereum as well, when the altcoins had their final moment collectively, January 6th, literally the exact same date that Bitcoin hit the 702, January 6, 2018, into that retracement, and you have the altcoins going collectively parabolic, right? Now, that structure is what we're basing this larger structure off of. We've talked about all the assets that in this current phase of the bull market are reaching out to these levels, these 4.236 extension levels. What is this? We've talked about this. The 4.236 extension. Yes, we're at that phase in the end of a grand 12-year, literally this 12-year, no, it's like 14-year historical thing that's been going on, chugging its way up to that 4.236 extension, corroborated by Bitcoin also chugging up to a 4.236 extension based on its last top to bottom. And that's the structure that we're playing out now, right? If that hasn't been made abundantly clear, why are we thinking this is even the top? Obviously, because look how close that is to that level. And we're not saying that it has to exactly pinpoint nail it, but if we zoom out, we can see the big picture levels that are respected right now. So you can see where Bitcoin is relative to these large, respected, historically validated levels. Just look at them. Look how these levels are respected. It's so, they just hang out, they play around, they get sucked up, they do whatever. And then you have like more of like a real-time level to respect, this classic resistance support line. That's where Bitcoin's getting sucked down to right now. It may be testing the top of this, but you can see I'm getting excited because you can see like we're so at the end of this long awaited prophecy. We've got the 52% crash. We've got Bitcoin putting in that clear trend reversal off the massive crash. It's coming down to test this classically technical level of support that was once resistance. And then it's probably setting up to maybe try to work its way up to this level of 3.618. It's going to try. I don't think it's going to succeed because I think the fractal that's playing out here on this 50% retracement, as I'm reinforcing the same mantras over and over again, is this 702 retracement, which is like, oh, you failed to make it to the 3.618 because you already hung out here enough. You're like done with it. Like people aren't trying to buy Bitcoin up here. That's what we've established. People will be bullish up into this level. These are psychological tools, right? So look at that 58,000. That's where you're going to sell your Bitcoin if you haven't already sold it. And you're going to see the market start to sell off. You're going to see altcoins fulfill their prophecy. And look how that's perfectly aligned with where the altcoins are, right? Because we're saying that the 4.236 extension, as we've acknowledged, the SPY, the Dow Jones, Bitcoin itself, Ethereum, this is a level that is now a deeply fulfilled prophecy, and that is now facilitating more fulfillment of that same prophecy. So anything that hasn't reached that prophecy is now getting its moment to do that. So look at the collective altcoin market. It's getting its moment to reach out to that 4.236 extension. That's where we're setting up for. So any of the volatility around here, it doesn't even matter. You can see where this movement is working towards. You can see that there's a fair bit of headroom, which aligns with what we're seeing in where Bitcoin is after its 52% crash, the trend reversals in, the retracement coming down to test support that was once resistance. Like, it's like the clockwork universe, okay? Like, literally. So it's just like exciting, man, it's crazy. We're here. It's like we've all been patient and now we're getting to see everything come together in that beautiful moment of excitement that we've, literally earned through our patience. So it's just like congratulations to literally all of us, It's not like we're like day traders out here, right? This is a new style. This is like aggressive, long-term, high-risk investing is what we're doing. But like by long-term, we mean like how long is this taking? Like 2 years? Basically, yeah. Basically, right? About 2 years. That's not a long time. That's not a long time to see these kinds of movements. You see, I'm like $4,000 at the bottom of March 2020, right? And all of this, that's what you're seeing on this chart as well, right? This entire $26 billion turns into $1.13 trillion, right? And it's still, and I'm arguing for the fact that it's still got more room up to this 1.43 trillion level. And why we go back to the same mantra, because we do think even if Dow Jones doesn't touch the 4.236 extension, even if it doesn't touch it, it's gonna try to touch it. You know what I'm saying? It's not done. It's like building support here at the 3.618. It's going to try. It maybe will fail. We may be on the brink of a massive market reversal after a 14-year prophecy gets fulfilled. And that would make sense because it would validate this prophecy once again. Oh, yeah. Yeah. It's like, am I rambling or am I just saying the mantras that need to be heard? I feel like I'm just trying to whittle it down to the simplest basic philosophy that we can all just sort of like wrap our heads around and be like excited, not fearful, just like holding to that conviction, seeing the pieces coming together and seeing it all, your patience basically be rewarded here. I got to say, there's some historic stuff going on here. I'm looking for this Riot. Where are you, Riot? Here we are. Look at this history. History. Look at this history, dude. Look at this history. Okay, like Riot. It's a stock, okay? Look at this date, right? This is like right before the financial crisis, right? So literally, Riot has just been going down for the entire time, dude. For the entire bull market that the S&P 500 has been going up and the Dow Jones has been going up, Riot Blockchain, which was actually this other stock first. Look at this, right? That's where it makes sense, right? Biotics. Creepy, but whatever. Don't worry about it. No, it's just like the history of this, like what's going on here? How is this a blockchain company all the way back to 2003, right? What they didn't have, did they know about blockchain? Well, they were biotics. They were probably some like some CIA thing or whatever, you know what I'm saying? But anyway, what do we know about basic chart psychology? What do we know about Fibonacci? What does Fibonacci tell us? It tells us these long-awaited prophecies. Look at this freaking thing going straight down since, and this is, two different scales here. If you look at the exponential scale, and it's like more hilarious, right? Look at that dwarfing, right? All the way up just to hit that retrace to the top, $3,500. It's fucking $16 right now. And then on that 702, that gravity, $2,500 a share on 702 gravity that goes all the way back to 2007. Do you see what I'm talking about when I'm talking about like historical things, right? Like GME did a historical thing like this. But this prophecy history goes even farther back than GME. And there's other big ones. Ford, General Electric, there's a few. But Riot stands out. It stands out as being like, wow, dude. How much Fibonacci have we talked about? If this is our guiding principle and we look at something like this, well, you can start to see it's not just cryptos. It's stocks as well. There's Fibonacci psychology at play throughout financial markets right now. And so we're standing here about to, seize a crazy opportunity. So, woo! All right, last thing. DXY, where are we thinking with the DXY? Isn't that funny how I improvised this regression line in a couple videos ago? Look at that thing. Or last video, I don't remember whenever. It's following it to a T. I think that the DXY is going to reverse soon. And that reversal, starting on March 1st, if this regression model has any validity whatsoever, this is the perfect alignment, right? DXY downtrending all the way into August 2022. It may even reverse sooner. It may reverse like April 19th, right? You could, like, alternate pathway, right? You could have something like that, right? Alternate pathway. But even if you did, well, that's still perfect timing. Look at that. April 15th, 2022. If the DXY is downtrending that entire time, it's very reasonable to say Bitcoin is uptrending that entire time. Doesn't matter what the war narratives are. Doesn't matter what the freaking scary, spooky, garbage mainstream media is talking about. These Fibonacci psychology things are already in motion. All the scare tactics are irrelevant to the markets. I find it really like hilarious that people try to say like, these scary world narratives are even affecting the markets, because as we've studied, as I've shown, these markets are affected by these Fibonacci tools, right? Like, I know I can admit that sounds a little extreme and oversimplified and reductive, but I've also shown you why I think that. And time will tell if these structures are going to be respected once again, right? In these altcoins, in these things like Riot, right? Seriously, if I get to make a video where I'm like, I told you the Riot prophecy got fulfilled and the shares went from $16 to $2,500. What? Well, great. So anyway, God, dude.
Silence is the key to hearing this melody. Uncommon esprit, binding synchronicity. Seeking equanimity.
By studying in this way the more important and significant examples that meet us in history, we shall be able to throw light on relationships belonging more to everyday life.